T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Standing by for the throttle up call from Capcom Steve Pro. Discovery Houston, go and throttle up.
Roger, go and throttle up. Throttle up.
Throttle up, call acknowledged by Commander Steve Lindsay.
Expected data get to clear shortly. Roger.
Solid rocket booster separation confirmed. Guidance now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward link now and then. Okay, you sound good. Discovery Houston, negative return. Copy, negative return.
Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode. Today we're puffing on our space suits because we're traveling back to July 1969. We're talking about Apollo 11, the mission that changed human history by putting the first man on the moon. And since this is such a huge history, today we have 6 people on the microphones. Hello team, how's everyone doing?
Hi Carlos, full of adrenaline. Talking about this means talking about pure tension. We have to see the sense. Late 1916, right in the middle of the Cold War. This was just a scientific trip for fun. It was a brutal competition of ego and power between the United States and the Soviet Union. Whoever controlled the moon controlled the narrative of planet Earth. They have to win no matter what.
Yes, Miranda. And to win, they open the world in a way that today would seem insane. NASA consumed almost 4% of the US federal budget to guide everyone listening an idea. Today is doesn't even 0.5% they spend the modern equivalent of the more 1,000 million dollars. US worked exclusive on building rocket parts.
Alright, let me you inform the start. A fortune of money during an year of social protest and the Vietnam War. And you really think me all the money went into the rocket and not into the pockets of movie producers?
Angel already strike while they sprinting both hold on Angel because before we try and put cameras. With night the told talk about the monster they built. The Saturn's 5 rocket was 110 meters tall, that higher than the structure of Reverie when its ignited the vibration was intense that the ground shook for my hand. 6 more glass recorded as like an earthquake. Who do you think that king of power Angel?
Exactly, Fernando. And the most impressive things wasn't just the size of the rocket, but the brain controlling it. The technology of that era was, let's say, prehistoric compared to today's standards. But that's exactly what blows everyone's mind.
That's exactly where I wanted to go, Oriel. Give us the hard facts about that technology because people really struggle to believe it what they use it to travel.
Get ready for this. The Apollo 11 navigation computer, the Apollo guidance computer, had only 4 kilobytes of RAM and 72 kilobytes hard drive. Literally, the phone or computer you're listening on right now has millions of times more memory. A simple WhatsApp meme is heavier than the software that took humans to the moon. The astronauts traveled in a cabin programmed with screens that looked like pocket calculators.
That's exactly my point, Uriel. You're proving me right. You're telling me that with technology we're that cheap digital watch 3, we're traveling 380,000 kilometers to space, avoided daily radiation, landed of floating rock, and came back alive? Come on! All of that filmed on the set in the Nevada desert by Stanley Kubrick. The shadow in the photo don't match the flag waves and 3 Arabs, no stars in the sky.
Oh, Angel, the classic flag and star myth. Let me explain it simple. There are no stars in the photos because it was basically daytime of the moon. The sunlight reflecting off the bridge lunar surface forces the cameras to use a fast exposures. If the star had appeared, the entire surface would be looked completely white.
And the waving flag is basic physics, Angel. The flag had a horizontal metal rod at the top so it wouldn't just hang down because there's no atmosphere or wind on the moon. What you see isn't wind moving the fabric, it's inertia from the astronauts planting the flag into the rocky ground. Since there's no air resistance, the movement lasted longer. Plus, there's a geopolitical argument that destroyed the hoax theory. In 1996, the Soviet Union had radar systems and telescopes pointed directed at the moon. They were obsessed with lying on the Americans if Apollo had been fake. The Russian will be the first to expose the fraud and humiliate the United States on global television, but they didn't because their own system confirmed the spacecraft was actually there.
And to topic it off, they brought back 382 kilograms of lunar rock sintered all over the world, including labs in rival countries, analyzed them and found that they contained no water and had combustion, unlike our rocks in 1990. It was actually assured to God the moon that decorated realistic special effects convincing enough to fool their entire planet.
Boom! Facts crushing conspiracy theories. But okay, let's assume they really got there. Landing on the moon was definitely not a walk in the park. Fernando, you researched the Eagle lunar model descent. Tell us what happened because it was absolutely terrifying.
I was like our mobile Carlos. 6 minutes before to do, the computer started flashing an alarm that read code 122. Imagine being 2,000 of meters of the lunar surface and your computer suddenly tells you it's already but cannot process more than that. Three levels inside mission control in Houston and inside the expression Minecraft went through to roof Neil Armstrong advertised to up to 100 feet beats per minute.
That's a nightmare. And the drama didn't stop here. When Armstrong looked out the window to see where they were landing, he realized the computer was guiding them directly into a giant crater filled with huge rocks the size of cars. If they landed there, the model would tip over and they'd be traveled forever.
Okay, I'll admit it's that part of the story is intense. So, what did Armstrong do?
He took manual control of the spacecraft, turned off the autopilot, and started flying the module like a roaring helicopter over the moon, searching for a flat area. The problem was the maneuvering burned a hug among of the back in Houston. The communications office starting counting down 6 seconds of free, 30 seconds, 20 seconds.
It's insane. They were seconds away from running out. If the fuel was gone, they would crash. Armstrong stayed incredibly calm and touched down with less than 20 seconds of fuel remaining. That's when he delivered the famous line, "The Eagle has landed." In Houston, everyone could finally breathe again. One opera replied, "Down here, we heard about to turn blue. We're breathing again."
It's incredible how everything depended on the calmness of one man. But the Odyssey didn't end after stepping on the moon and taking that giant leap for mankind. Many people forget the return trip was just as dangerous. Marine, tell us the story about the broken switch.
This is my favorite fact. About the entry mission, after walking on the moon, Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin returned to the lunar module to rest, wearing those how bulky spacesuit inside a space brightly bigger than a closet. One of them accidentally hit the control panel with backpack and broke a crucial plastic switch. The circuit breaker then activated the engine to leave the moon.
Okay, don't tell me. They almost got shorted because of a broken piece of plastic.
Yes, without that switch, the engine would start and they would be on the moon. They contact Earth and engineers in Houston spent hours searching for a solution while the astronauts tried to sleep in there was no technical fix from Earth. Buzz Aldrin creativity saved them. He grabbed an ordinary performed his pocket carefully. Instead into the broken switch slot and managed to close the electrical circuit. A simple office pen saved their life and allowed them to return to Earth.
It's amazing to think how thin the line was between success and total disaster. In fact, President Richard Nixon already had a funeral speech prepared in case the astronauts became trapped on the moon forever. Thankfully, Tank's speech stayed looked away in an hour.
That's why Apollo 11 matters so much. It didn't just prove what science can achieve with the right resource, but also what humans can do when solving problems on the edge of death. It completely changed our perspective of our place in the universe.
Well, after hearing about the pen and the Soviet radars, I have to admit you made me think. Maybe they really did go, but I still think they touched the photos a little bit. There's no changing you, Angel, but we respect to do dope friends. Time flies faster than the Saturn V, and we're reaching the end of this 15 minutes journey. One quick final reflection from everyone, Miranda. Let's start with you.
When humanity works together toward a giant goal, the boundaries of the impossible disappear.
Science and human curiosity are the most powerful tools we have.
Absolute respect for the bravery of those three men who climbed into a controlled explosion to expand humanity is horizon.
And never underestimate the power of carrying a good pen in your pocket.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us on this journey through history. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments telling us whether you believe Angel or the rest of the team. And we'll hear you in the next episode. Mission Control signing off.